Hi everyone, welcome back. Sunday morning. A couple of nice videos out yesterday, I thought. Chain and sprocket change, bobber MOT'd, and picking up this xj600, which apparently has a huge following. I've owned one of these before, guys. I owned the N version, the naked version, and I put a 4-into-1 exhaust on it, which it did not sound stupidly loud. It sounded nice. And then someone said it had different clocks. Thinking about it now, yes, it did have different clocks. It has the bullet style ones, like the Bandit, I guess. They cost £130, the cheapest I found this morning. So, yeah. This needs to continue being a cheap bike for the next owner, a winter hack almost. So I'm only going to be perfecting this bike by taking things off and replacing kind of with gentle parts, really, like just a basic front light. I am looking to see if I can get a front light with a screen, or if I can get some sort of screen and bolt it onto the housing of the clocks, because that all works, the whole lot works. So I'm going to look into that, but it has to look reasonable, it has to be neat. But yeah, I'm going to on that later. Now, I have a problem with this bike. I drove this bike to MOT a couple of weeks ago. It drove beautifully. My problem is its warming up procedure. It takes so bloody long, even with full choke. And that bugs me, so I don't know what's going on. I'm going to actually show you. This is stone cold. Stone cold. So you pull it on and you max out the choke like you would do, and you wait. So this is what's happening every morning. Now, if you put any revs onto it, because I know you guys are thinking put some revs on, it cuts out, even if you're gentle. So you try and let it sit like that with no revs, and it just isn't happy enough to warm up. I mean, it might be me just being really picky, but I just think when I sell this to someone, they're going to want a bike that they can jump on in the mornings and go. Saying that, me just now not messing around with the revs and stuff and letting it actually warm up seems to be a bit happier. So maybe it's me being awkward. Anyway, my plan was, I've got a brand new high performance CG carb in there. My plan was to chuck that on. But now that I'm recording this startup, it could just be me being awkward. The air fuel mixture screw is set nicely, I think, because I did that myself. Yeah, I mean, it seems fine. Any revs will cut it out, I'm sure. If you're really, really gentle. I don't know what's going on, guys. Maybe it is me. Maybe now it doesn't need choke. It is a little bit fluttery still. You've got to kind of fondle it almost. Look, tiny bit of revs, and you can build it up to help it get warm. But too many revs and it cuts. That's quite normal for a bike that's not warm. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll let it sit for a couple more minutes. So far it's been 4 minutes because we haven't stopped the camera. There is no choke on now because maybe there was too much choke at that stage. Let's see, but I just have this feeling that the CG carb will just make it 10 times better on startup and on ride. I've got a young lady interested in the bike who lives in Kent, so I want it to be spot on for her. So that's why I've been double thinking this. However, saying that, if you do this in the morning, a very cold morning, and let the bike sit and warm up, then it should be okay. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes to 6 minutes, or 1 more minute. I've got Jay. I haven't asked him yet if he wants to be filmed, so let me have a quick chat with him. He's on his new Derby bike, actually. New watcher, well, old watcher, but new to the garage. So let's see. Let me have a chat and see what's going on. So guys, like I said, Jay is here. We won't see him on camera. That's fine. Some people go on camera, some people don't. No issues there at all. And I think I was just being awkward with this bike. If we took this bike out now, it rides exactly as it should. Putting on a 20-pound high-performance CG carb because I'm lazy in the morning doesn't make sense. So I'm going to leave that alone. In fact, I'll get Jay to test drive that after and see what he thinks. So I was going to be quite busy doing that carb, but that's unnecessary. So where do I move to? A couple of bits on the bobber and front fairing on here. So guys, me and Jay working on this xj6. We didn't realise the cowl was separate to the light, so that's interesting. But you kind of get a rough idea now of what it will look like. The massive clocks aren't great. They're not ideal, but I do like them. So what I think it will look like now is we'll strip all this back like you've seen me do before, all of this metal. Guys, this metal stuff weighs a ton. If you're street fighting a bike, take off this weight. This light can come off, that can go on eBay, it's in a great condition. And then we'll do the chops like we used to. So we'll have a bar holding on the original clocks, and then we'll have a space for the round light. Keep it simple. A round light's 20 quid or so. Comes with the brackets, they clip on here, and then you've got everything you need. So let's strip this down a little bit more. We'll take the light off, and you know, you'll see a bit more of a Street Fighter look. On the bobber, I've just taken the bolt off. I was explaining to Jay that this seat shouldn't be down like that. It needs to be up like this. But I also want the tank to be up as well. So I need to work out a way now of spacing it. Or I leave the tank down and I put a spacer in and the seat up like that. Or I spin the bracket. Basically, this seat needs to be kind of up here. It needs to be suspended. So let's see what we can do there. So guys, we've got the front light off down here. And the already a huge frame actually. This bike's carrying 2 frames and they're weighty, guys. I was just chatting to Jay about how the stance of the bike already, it looks sportier. It looks so much better, and that's why I'm showing you this angle, because you can straight away see that they become, I mean, they become more Street Fighter-y, don't they? And that's, yeah, it looks so much better. It's like the Phaser and the Bandits when you take them huge front panels off and you're left with a much neater looking bike. Slight issue with this massive clock, but it does the job. That's kind of what's bothering me most. 130 quid on the N version, which will just slot in and bolt on. I can't bring myself to spend 130 quid on it. Could I... Hang on a minute, I've got that clock that Andy left me. No, this won't be the same fitting. Let me have a look. I'm going to check, see if it's the same fitting. That would be amazing, actually. I'm going to take this frame. Normally with these frames, I have to chop them here and here, because they are what's holding the main clock on. Of course, if I've got a separate clock, or I plan on using one, then I can get rid of all of that and the whole thing becomes so much neater. Alright guys, so yeah, so we're taking all these clocks off because we think that clock that Gary sent me Yeah, there you go. Last week, we think we can make that work. So we're going to look at that. So all of this is coming off, but we're sitting here and we're going, hang on a minute. We need to know what all these wires do and where these bulbs go to. Now we don't really, guys, because most of these we can chop. We might keep one to power the lights on that other little unit. The rest can go. We're not going to have indicator lights. Obviously we'll have indicators, but we won't have the warning lights. None of that's going to be on the new little tacho speedo. But in the future, if someone put on a more digital one, then all of this is still here and accessible, and you can, the wiring diagram will tell you what wires go to what. Now this is the main bit for me. From this angle, the clock's upside down. On the left is a grey wire. I wonder what that is. Let me see, let me turn it over. Ah, the tacho. So the tacho must be digital, so I'm not too fussed about that. But yes, so the grey is on the left, upside down, the black is in the middle, the brown is on the right, and then everything else is self-explanatory. Blue and black down there, one bulb, and then there's a brown, this one's brown, yeah, look at that, look. I think that's royal blue and brown, and then the other three are lucky dip. So let's get this off, and in fact, let's look at the stance of the bike again. Now, wow. Now we're looking street fighty. Look at that.
Yeah, it's just so much more aggressive.
So much more. Look at that. It's a different bike.
Yeah, even the angle of the front forks.
I joined the Yamaha xj600 group this morning. They are going to wreck me. They're going to absolutely ruin me. But, guys, come on. Look at it. Gary, you're going to love it like this, actually. Minimised and street fighty. I think so far we're winning, guys. So what we're doing is, let me deal with that wiring thing for now. Somehow make some sort of bracket to make that clock fit. No idea how, but somehow. It'll probably be sitting up here. It'll probably be bolted onto there. And I will order a front light. Nat offered me a front light yesterday, but I had no idea where I was going with this bike at the time, so I didn't want to take it unnecessarily. I'll order a light and wait. Also, I don't want to rush this one. I'll take my time, give it a good clean. I've been spraying it with wheel cleaner all over the engine and stuff all day. I mentioned that I might paint these wheels. I think these wheels have been painted. That's not crud, that's old paint and stuff. I think Hammerite black, if I can strip them down enough to be able to get it on neatly. So it will have this kind of look to it. So actually, and it's quite the Hammerite goes on nice. It's quite smooth, it's quite shiny, and it's thick, and it saves from rust. So that wouldn't be a bad thing to do. That would be a good thing to do. But that looks very sporty and stunty to me, Jay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that it's almost a wheelie bike.
That's what I was about to say. All you need is a little wheelie bar at the
little
back.
Wheelie bar. Don't worry about a front light, guys.
Got a massive sprocket on it.
Don't worry about a speedo.
Take it come off at some point.
Take the number plate off and go. Right, so where are we? I have no idea. We're going to make that speedo work. That's going to be quite fun, and we'll get to test ride it to see if it works. So let's carry on doing whatever it is we're doing. Look, guys, look at this stance. We were just kind of going over it. Look at the stance. It's so street fightery. It's so sporty. I like these grips. They're very comfortable. These grips, I love these grips actually. They're great. I don't know what these are. Or maybe they're just a bit long. Maybe I'll chop them off. What they've done is they've made them look like weights, but they're not. It's quite clever actually. It kind of works. Look at it. Yeah, I think we've done absolutely the right thing by this bike so far, because that street fight sporty look suits it. Because it's got that kind of stance, got that look. Okay guys, so here's the plan. I was just talking to Jay about it. By the way guys, I just realised Jay's the guy who made the second part of my intro. The bit that uses the air guns, which I love. I didn't realise that until about 10 minutes ago. See, I talk to so many of you guys through so many different platforms. I really do forget what's going on. I do. And then I mean, even this, I forget. Andy, you sent me this, definitely. That was Andy. Jay built the intro, which I love, that second part. And yeah, you guys are always in contact. But I think when you come down here, we get a bit more understanding of each other, you know. And Jay lives down the road, so it'll be really great to have someone to say, Jay, I've got loads of projects this weekend. Can I have a hand? But here's the plan. That hole is the right size for that fitting. There. I need to drill a second hole here for that fitting to go in there. And then I bend this out fully, and then that bolts into the bar, and we have a bracket already made for the bike, and we have a speedo working. That's the plan. Let's see if we can achieve that. Okay guys, sorry about this flittering back and forward. I was just sitting here and I was aware that I'm doing all this fabrication over there, and then Jay's got his Derby here, which I haven't tried. So I'm going to give it a quick spin. Jay says that the carb may not be spot on, but we won't know. I'm not going to film it, it's his bike, there's no need, but I'm going to give it a quick spin, and maybe you might see another carb clean today, because why not? It takes us half an hour max to pop a carb like this off and give it a quick clean. You'd be nuts not to if you felt it was needed. So I'm going to give it a quick run. You might see a carb clean, you might not. Right. Rabjab's here, guys. It's been a month. He's not been around. He hasn't been sulking though. Not like Sultan. Come on, mate, give it some. You might hear that little kickback in a minute. That little misfire almost. Right, listen for the kind of misfire or backfire. Alright guys, for anyone interested, Rabjab's here as well. Now I'm wondering if I need to angle this more to be able to turn it. This is the bracket for the new Speedo, but now I'm thinking I need to cut a chunk out here to be able to spin it this way, don't I?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work.
Check. Let's see. It's going to hit.
Yeah.
What happened to...
Alright, let's see. So we still got Jay and Rabjab here at the moment. Does that disturb the key?
That's the wrong way.
No, that's the right way.
That's the right way.
That's the way it
The
goes.
speedo goes the other.
Actually, there's enough room there, isn't there?
Yeah, you got
Enough room to turn the keys. Keys sit under it comfortably.
I think that's fine. No point messing. No point messing. Let's get this buttoned up, guys, and then we'll see how it's. Not sure if we captured Rabjab moaning there. If we did, welcome to my world. Do I like the angle of the Speedo? No. I can turn it this way. Do I like it? I kind of do and I kind of don't. Guys, have a look. I'll keep you off camera, but have a look from that angle. I need to order a new Speedo cable, guys. This one, because I've lifted the Speedo, it just doesn't reach here, you see. So I need, I've ordered the right one now. That should be here in no time. It's fine, actually. What do you think?
I don't mind it. I think what it is that without the sort of the headlight there, you can't really see it, how it's sitting.
Yeah, so the headlight will be kind of quite here and quite high, and yeah, I think ideally I'd like it a bit more to the side. Yeah, kind of.
Change all the
Yeah, I think
this whole bit.
What?
You change the handlebars and keep it.
Do you know what? Look, they're expensive aftermarket bars. I was thinking about a set of braced Renthals.
Maybe we'll do change this bit and change this bit, make it a bit more nicer.
Oh, people don't like them levers. I know you do.
Yeah.
I prefer the original.
Yeah, people like the originals on a bike like this. I mean, you're right, they're a bit snazzy, but I think the customer for these bikes is middle age, maybe older age guys.
These are a bit more older age guys.
All I'm doing is neatening the front and taking some weight off.
For me,
Very minimal.
Yeah.
Exhaust, what's the sound like, Charlie?
Have you not heard it? Right, guys, just finishing off for today. So we've sorted the seat, and I think it's so much better. Jay came up with this plan actually in the end of extending this pivot here, so you haven't got all that messing around stuff, and then we put a spacer underneath, and now we have a proper suspended seat, which feels better already for me. I still need to paint the end side casing here. That's going to be next week. Now that the seat is a bit more back and a bit more tilted, I definitely need the risers, but they are on their way. They are coming, because I need the bars to be a bit closer. And I've got a slightly smaller number plate coming, slightly. It would still look fairly legal. And that's it then. I've got a new choke coming, because it is, I mean, it starts fine, but we're getting to the winter now, aren't we? So I've got a new choke coming, and what am I waiting on? And the speedo drive. I'm waiting on the speedo drive down here, so that I can put on, so that I can have a speedo basically, and that's kind of it. And then a bit of high temp spray on the engine just to neaten it up a bit. So this bike is very close to being ready. It's been driven today. Rabjab drove it. It drove well. I've got footage of that. Sinis is done and ready. That's all good. I'm going to get a quick video of that because there's a young lady interested. XJ, I just love that new neat front end. The clock is on. I need the slightly longer wire to wire it up, but it does such a nice basic job there, guys. And I'll get a basic round light, not the cheap plastic one, but a decent one, and then we'll look at some polishing and cleaning and so on next week. So we're kind of there, really. That's it, isn't it? Yeah. So we're good to go. Let me know what you think about any of the bikes. I think a lot of you might dislike what I've done to the XJ, but standing here next to it now, it looks better. It looks neater. It looks more purposeful. I'm not put off by what I've done. I've got some parts down here. If anyone needs any parts, let me know. Nice front light in perfect condition, indicators, and all the clocks and stuff, and so on. But that's about it. We did a bit of work on this Terra. Nothing major, just setting off the carb, and we're good to go. Excellent. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I love chatting to you guys. I love when everyone messages and we talk, and you say to me, "Don't you dare do that to the bike," and I say, "Well, I'm going to anyway." Yes. But and so nice to have Jay here today. Thank you, Jay. And Rabjab, your favourite, was here for like the last week. All he does is turn up, test all the bikes, and go home. Really, but someone asked for Rabjab recently, so he is here. Yeah. All right, want to say anything? Want to say hello? People like you, and you don't even talk to them. Look at you moving out a shot. Yes, that's it for today, guys. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to rest. I got another copyright infringement yesterday. That was fun, for a piece of music I used in my last video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I've still got something like 93% of the people who watch my videos aren't subbed, and I kind of don't get that. 93% aren't subbed. So there's 93% of people clicking on my videos up to 400, 500, 600, sometimes up to 10k, and they're just not subbing, but you might as well.